Hey everybody, so have you ever been told you're too sensitive? You think too much? You feel too much? Well, you might be in the right place because today we're talking about HSPs, highly sensitive people. Now, before we get started, I want to make it clear that being an HSP isn't a bad thing. It's not a disorder or a disease, it's simply a personality trait. Think of it like being left-handed. It's just who you are. HSPs are simply wired differently, and that's okay. In fact, it's pretty amazing. HSPs are known for their empathy, intuition, and creativity, and they bring a unique perspective to the world. But like anything, there are some challenges that come with being an HSP. So, if you're ready to find out if you're part of the HSP club, let's dive into 13 struggles only highly sensitive people will understand. Let's be honest, who doesn't love a good night's sleep? We all feel better after a solid 8 hours, right? But for HSPs, sleep isn't just about feeling good, it's essential for survival. Okay, maybe not survival, but it sure feels like it. Seriously though, studies have actually shown that HSPs need more sleep than the average person. Why? Because their brains are processing information on overdrive all day long. It's like running a marathon in your mind. So, if you're an HSP who's constantly hitting the snooze button, cut yourself some slack. You need your rest, my friend. Okay, HSPs, let's talk about noise. Remember that marathon I mentioned earlier? Well, imagine trying to run that marathon while a marching band practices right next to you. That's what loud noises can feel like for an HSP. Crowds, concerts, even just a busy restaurant, it can all be a bit overwhelming. So if you find yourself craving peace and quiet, you're not alone. You're not being antisocial, you're just protecting your energy. And trust me, your energy is precious. Have you ever noticed that you feel things really, really deeply? Like you cry at commercials, you feel other people's pain, and you can sense a bad vibe from a mile away? Yep, that's the HSP life. And while empathy is a beautiful thing, it can also be exhausting. It's like being a sponge soaking up all the emotions around you. So by the end of the day, you're emotionally wrung out like an old dishcloth. It's important to remember to take care of yourself and recharge those emotional batteries. Chapter 4, Masters of Overthinking. HSPs, you know that feeling when you replay a conversation in your head a million times, analyzing every word, every glance, every pause. Yeah, that's our superpower, overthinking. We notice everything, and I mean everything, the good, the bad, and the totally insignificant. It's a blessing and a curse, really. We're incredibly perceptive, but we can also work ourselves into a frenzy over the smallest details. Chapter 5, Violence? No, thank you. Okay, let's talk about something a little sensitive, pun intended. Violence. HSPs, how many of you can't handle scary movies or even watch the news sometimes? It's not that we're weak or anything, it's just that violence affects us on a visceral level. We feel it deeply, even if it's not happening to us directly. So if you'd rather watch a rom-com than a horror flick, you're in good company. Chapter 6. Letting go is hard to do. HSPs, raise your hand if you've ever held onto a grudge for way too long. Yeah, me too. Letting go is hard, especially when you feel things so deeply. Whether it's a breakup, a betrayal, or even just a mean comment, emotional pain can linger for an HSP like a bad smell. It's not that we want to hold on to it, but it's like a part of us needs to process it fully before we can truly move on. Chapter 7. Remember that feeling of dread you get when you have to change your routine? Yeah, that's a highly sensitive person's worst nightmare. We thrive on familiarity and predictability. Change can feel like being thrown into the deep end without knowing how to swim. It's not that we are afraid of new experiences, it's just that we need time to adjust and process them. Chapter 8, Highly sensitive people are some of the kindest, most compassionate people you'll ever meet. But we're also pretty sensitive, in case you haven't noticed. Criticism, even constructive criticism, can feel like a punch to the gut. It's not that we can't take it, it's just that we feel it more deeply. So if you're dealing with a highly sensitive person, a little gentleness goes a long way. Pressure, no pressure, deadlines, presentations, high-pressure situations, these are the things that make highly sensitive people break out in a cold sweat. It's not that we're not capable, it's just that we do our best work when we have the time and space to focus. We're not fans of multitasking or rushing, and that's okay. We'd rather take our time and do it right. Highly sensitive people are natural givers. We want to help, we want to please, and we really hate to disappoint. But, this can sometimes lead to us saying yes when we really want to say no. We can be people pleasers, and it's something we're constantly working on. Setting boundaries is crucial for highly sensitive people, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Perfectionism, thy name is HSP. We are so hard on ourselves, it's not even funny. We set impossibly high standards and then beat ourselves up when we don't meet them, which is often because, impossible standards. Learning to be kinder to ourselves is a lifelong journey for HSPs, but trust me, it's worth it. HSPs, let's hear it for alone time. We need it after a long day of absorbing everyone else's energy. We need to retreat into our own little worlds and recharge. It's not that we don't like people, it's just that we need our space to process, reflect, and just be. Being an HSP in a world that often values extroversion and thick skin can be challenging. People might not always understand why we react the way we do or why we need so much downtime, but here's the thing. Being an HSP is not a weakness, it's a strength. We feel deeply, we experience the world intensely, and we bring a unique perspective to everything we do. So, there you have it, 13 struggles only HSPs will understand. It's not always easy being highly sensitive, but it's also pretty amazing. We feel things deeply, we connect with others on a profound level, and we experience the world in all its vibrant glory. If you're an HSP, embrace your sensitivity, it's what makes you special. And if you know an HSP, be patient, be kind, and appreciate the unique gifts they bring to the table. Now, who wants to share their HSP stories? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Until next time, be kind to yourselves and each other. Bye.